Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Calm prevails in border areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab and along the LoC. No drone activity is spotted for many hours. Security forces remain on high alert. Russian president proposes holding direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on Thursday. Says Ukraine talks should aim to eliminate root causes of the conflict. The United States and Iran will hold another round of nuclear talks on Sunday in Oman ahead of President Trump's visit to the Gulf nations. US and China end first day of trade talks in Geneva. Trump hails talks as a total reset in trade ties. Second day of closed-door discussions continue today. The situation along the border areas of Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Jammu and Kashmir remained normal on Sunday, a day after agreement of understanding was reached between India and Pakistan. No drones firing or shelling activity has been reported during the intervening night of May 10 and 11. Calm also prevailed on the borders in Jammu and Kashmir, especially along the line of control Poonch and Rajouri. Earlier, India and Pakistan have agreed on an understanding on stoppage of all firing and military action on Saturday. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said the Director General of Military Operations of Pakistan called the Indian counterpart at 15:35 hours Indian Standard Time on Saturday. It was agreed between them that both sides would stop all firing and military action on land and in the air and sea with effect from 1700 hours Indian Standard Time on Saturday. Instructions were given on both sides to give effect to the understanding. The Director Generals of Military Operations will talk again on the 12th of May, that is tomorrow at 1200 hours. And life is slowly returning back to normal in Kashmir as well. Areas around Dal Lake and markets have started to open at Lal Chowk. DD India's Vishal Barrister reports from Srinagar.
This is Sunday morning and I am here at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. Life is slowly coming back to normal. There has been a peaceful last night and no aggression from the other side of the border. As you can see, today is Sunday, people have come out to shop. This is Sunday Bazaar. Let's talk to some of the people here, some of the localites of Srinagar and find out how do they feel. I have a shop owner. कैसे रही आपकी रात और कैसा लग रहा है कि जिंदगी अब नॉर्मल हो रही है?
जंग तो एक तबाही है। जंग से कोई मकसद नहीं निकलता है। जो ऐसे भाईचारा है हमें पार से भी यहाँ से वही हमें रखना है। आपस में ये जंग वंग नहीं होना चाहिए। कल से सारा माहौल ठीक हो गया। इन्होंने बातचीत आपस में की तो वही ठीक हुआ। जंग सही चीज़ नहीं है।
So he said that he is feeling better now. Let's talk to some more people. कैसा लग रहा है आप? चीज़ें पहले से बेहतर हुई है? ठीक लग रहा है आपको? कहाँ से आप?
पंजाब से।
पंजाब से क्या करते हैं?
इधर सोफे का काम करते हैं।
ओके। तो कल रात चैन से सोए आप?
हाँ जी ठीक है, मगर थोड़ा बहुत हल्ला होता है।
अभी ठीक है?
अभी ठीक है, बढ़िया।
So there you heard from the locals, from the people who are working here. They are from a different state. But as you can see, life is slowly coming back to normal and slowly the markets would be opening. It has already started and people can heave a sigh of relief. With cameraman Mohit Uike from Lal Chowk in Srinagar, this is Vishal Barrister for DD India.
All right, that was Vishal Barrister reporting from Srinagar. What's happening in Jammu? We'll go across live to Ankush Sharma, DD India's correspondent, is joining us from there. Ankush, what is the situation like this morning? Sense of calm has prevailed, but of course tensions still remain.
This morning is very different from last 3 days, and now the situation is very normal, and the peace has been restored in Jammu region as well as in Kashmir, and people are now moving towards their businesses. The shops have been opened in Jammu as well, and in border areas, people are also trying to move back to their homes, and now the situation is normal, but the fake information is there, and still from yesterday there are fake information in social media circulating over the Jammu and Kashmir, and the fake information regarding terrorist activities in the region, and multiple fake information was there, and on the basis of fake information, people are reacting on social media. Social media flooded with the reactions. This could create panic among people, but when administrative officers notice this fake information in Jammu and Kashmir, they have took action instantly, and they have instructed people through social media that don't take serious this information, and don't believe such rumors. And now, if I want to mention here that I spoke with multiple individuals in my area, and they have expressed their happiness towards towards the decision which took yesterday evening, and from yesterday night there was no firing incidents, there was no drone activities, and now people are living their normal life again. Yesterday, when this announcement were made by the government of India, people came out from their houses, and there was conversations on the streets, and people are really welcoming this step of the Indian government. And I also observed, and I have talked to some people. They have said that we salute our Indian army, and we are safe now just because of our strongest air defense system, and among the world. And people are really happy in Jammu and Kashmir right now. And the actual worth of this announcement, the people who live nearby the border areas, they know well. And now I also want to mention here the people who were living outside from their regions, in the camps, and in their relative houses. They are also now planning to move back to their homes, and they are again planning to start their normal life. The places which were affected a lot, like Rajouri and Punch, now the people are also started coming back to their homes. So the life is now totally on the track, and the peace has been restored in Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, life, like you're saying, coming back to normal there in Jammu and Kashmir and across border areas too. But Ankush, India has been keeping its firm stance on the terror and action against terrorists, and India has time and again proven that they're not going to stand back if Pakistan provoked and instructed armed forces also to maintain a strict vigil. But yes, like you were saying, a sigh of relief for the people, for the general public also there, that sense of normalcy has prevailed there.
Yes, India has already clarified that if any future terrorist activities happen in Jammu and Kashmir, or in any part of the country, it will consider as an act of war. So now the people, and the Jammu and Kashmir people now know what will happen to Pakistan if Pakistan again attempts to target our security forces, our civilians. And now the situation is normal, and there is still some, you can say, the false information is one of the enemy in Jammu and Kashmir still. And through social media, Pakistan is trying to circulate information through social media, false information through its propaganda. So now the administration is awareing people and telling them not to believe any rumors. And there are fake accounts even on X and Facebook or WhatsApp. People are getting unknown messages on WhatsApp, which are looking forward for the information about Jammu and Kashmir, about the when there was tension 2 days back. There was reports. on social media. Some unknown numbers are asking for the videos, for the live information about what's happening around in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is something which should be considered immediately, and there should be strict action against false information.
All right, Ankush, keep tracking this. Thank you for the time being, but yes, we'll keep taking updates from you. The State Investigation Agency of Jammu and Kashmir Police today conducted searches at multiple locations across South Kashmir. The raids were carried out in the districts of Pulwama, Anantnag, Kulgam and Shopian in connection with ongoing investigations into cases related to anti-national activities. According to official sources, the operations were launched on the basis of credible intelligence inputs and were conducted under elaborate security arrangements. Senior officers of the agency supervised the searches. During the course of the operations, several digital devices, incriminating documents and other materials were also seized. And the Home Secretary Gwen Moan held a video conference on Saturday with the Chief Secretaries of all states bordering Pakistan to ensure all civil defence preparations are completed. The Chief Secretaries of Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat attended the meeting. This video conferencing was conducted by the Home Secretary in view of the current prevailing situation. And border state Punjab remains on red alert, ensuring abundant caution. Amritsar Deputy Commissioner implemented the blackout as a precautionary measure last night. She urged everyone to stay indoors, away from windows and remain calm. Earlier, she withdrew all restrictive orders imposed within the district except the restriction on civilian drone flying. Normal work may resume as usual. Meanwhile, authorities are repeatedly asking citizens to refrain from spreading or believing in unverified rumors and said that for accurate and official updates, always rely on trusted government sources. All right, so calm has prevailed in the areas of Jammu Kashmir and along the border areas. So it's a sigh of relief, like our correspondent was also reporting, that shops have also started opening. Sigh of relief for the general public also. But border state Punjab remains on red alert, ensuring abundant caution. And Amritsar Deputy Commissioner implemented the blackout as a precautionary measure last night too. We'll go across to Amritsar. DD India's Gurmeet Singh is joining us live from there. Gurmeet, tell us the current situation on the ground from where you are reporting.
Abhishek, right now we are reporting from the border village of Amritsar, which is Naushera Tala. There is a belt of the border villages starting from Atari to Burj to various other villages including Rajatal and this Naushera Dhala and then Daunke. So these all are the border villages, and I can tell you that we are reporting just 300 to 400 meters away from the international border fencing. So due to the security reasons, we cannot show the international fencing at this point in time, but I can tell you this is the border village and people are working as they used to work in their daily schedule earlier. So at this point in time, we are observing and talking to a lot of people over here in the border villages. So they are feeling quite secure. Situation is quite normal. They are doing their daily work. And right now, I would like to show you the visuals of this village. Right behind me, you can see the Naushera Dhala village, where you can see Gurdwara Sahib over there, and then a few residences over here. This is the residential area of the village, which is just in front of the international border fencing. So right here, what we are observing at this point in time is that people are feeling secure and they are quite happy that there has been understanding between the DGMOs of the two countries. And if we talk about the Punjab, various districts of the Punjab, and specifically there are 6 districts of Punjab which are touching the international boundary, starting from Amritsar to Pathankot to Firozpur, Fazilka, Taran Taran and Gurdaspur. from all these districts, we've been talking to our stringers, our reporters. So the inputs that we are getting, that is that situation is quite normal in the border areas, all the border areas, and even in the interior of the Punjab. So situation is quite normal at this point in time. If we talk about yesterday night, there were few inputs coming about the drones being spotted by few people in Pathankot and Gurdaspur area. However, later on, administration clarified this, that there was no drones in those areas. So that was just the rumor mongering taking place at that point in time. So if we talk about the blackout in various districts, so yesterday night in about 15 districts of Punjab, the blackout was imposed. In some districts, it was imposed for 2, 3, 4 hours. And in Amritsar specifically, if I want to talk, then Amritsar, the blackout was imposed at 9 p.m. and it was there till 5:30 in the morning. But the situation is quite normal. Administration has clarified that this blackout and other security measures are being taken just as a precautionary measure. But there is nothing to worry, and helpline numbers have also been given to the people that if they face any kind of situation which is challenging, or they spot anything unusual in sky, in air, they can report to the authorities, to the administration. But at this point in time, the situation is quite normal, and people are returning to their work. Since today is Sunday, so the people are not going to the offices, but a businessman, a trader is going to his workplace.
All right, so things are coming back to normal. Gurmeet, like you're reporting, and the helpline numbers have also been given to the people. No military action has been reported there. You're reporting just 300-400 meters away from the border. People, you are saying, are calm, but border state Punjab remains on red alert, ensuring abundant caution. Having said that, Gurmeet, armed forces also maintaining a strong vigil?
Yes, very much, Abhishek, because since I've told you that we are reporting from near the international border fencing, so just 10-15 minutes before, a localite came to us and told us that the security forces are constantly watching you at this point in time. They are watching you through their binoculars. At the same time, he also told us that since the international boundary is in front of us, so the other countries, Pakistani Rangers are also watching us. But at this point in time, if you see on ground, we are on the international border. If we are feeling secure, we are openly reporting from here, and the border villages, because earlier there was news coming up and rumor mongering about the border areas that people are migrating from here. They are going to the safer zones, safer areas. But at this point in time, what we are seeing on ground, that not even a single person has moved from this village, specifically I can talk. And in other villages also, we've been to several villages, we have talked to several villagers, several localites over here. So nobody is ready to leave this area, and they are saying that they are feeling quite secure.
All right.
Situation is quite calm, and they have full faith on the security forces of this country and their defense system that they have seen in the last few days of the escalation between two countries.
In fact, it is a good news that things are coming back to normal there. Thank you, Gurmeet. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for your inputs. Gurmeet Singh reporting from Amritsar. We are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching DD India Live. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Russian President Vladimir Putin is calling for direct peace talks with Ukraine, proposing a high-stakes summit in Istanbul on May 15. The announcement marks the most serious signal of diplomacy since talks broke down more than 2 years ago, but with deep mistrust on both sides and a fresh push from European leaders for an immediate ceasefire. The question remains, will this be a genuine step towards peace? Here's the report. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday proposed holding direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15. The Kremlin's surprise offers signals what could be the most serious push for diplomacy since negotiations collapsed over 2 years ago.
Let me remind you, it was not us who walked away from talks in 2022. It was Ukraine. Still, despite everything, we are ready to resume direct negotiations without any preconditions.
Putin said the goal is not just a temporary ceasefire, but a lasting peace, one that, in his words, addresses the root causes of the conflict. He plans to speak with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to finalize details for the Istanbul summit. This bold proposal comes just hours after European leaders, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron, visited Kiev, urging Moscow to accept an immediate 30-day unconditional ceasefire. But the Russian president pushed back, accusing Ukraine of ignoring 3 recent ceasefire proposals, a month-long halt to attacks on energy infrastructure, an Easter truce and a symbolic pause during World War II commemorations. Ukraine in turn has consistently denied those claims, asserting that Russian strikes continued despite Moscow's public declarations of restraint. Moscow has similarly alleged violations by Kiev. With both sides trading blame and accusations, the stage is now set for a critical showdown, diplomacy versus distrust. May 15th could mark a critical moment for Eastern Europe, a chance for peace or yet another missed opportunity. Bureau Report, DD India. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said on Sunday that he will continue to work with both sides to end the conflict in Ukraine. Trump in a social media post said, and I quote him, "A potentially great day for Russia and Ukraine." Trump's statement came after Russian President Putin's proposal for direct talks with Kiev. Trump also said that he will continue to work with both sides to make sure that it happens. And US President Donald Trump hailed talks with China in Switzerland on Saturday, saying the two sides had negotiated a total reset in a friendly but constructive manner. Though he did not elaborate on the progress, earlier top US and Chinese officials wrapped up the first day of talks in Geneva aimed at diffusing a trade war that threatens to hammer the global economy and planned to resume negotiations on Sunday. Neither side made any statements afterwards about the substance of the discussions nor signaled any specific progress towards reducing crushing tariffs as meetings at the residence of Switzerland's ambassador to the UN. Now, Iran will hold a 4th round of indirect nuclear talks with the United States on Sunday in Oman. The 4th round of negotiations, initially scheduled for May 3rd in Rome, was postponed due to logistical reasons. US President Trump has threatened to bomb Iran if no agreement is reached with his administration to resolve the long-standing dispute. He withdrew the US from a 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers. Western countries say Iran's nuclear program, which Tehran accelerated after the US walkout from the now moribund 2015 accord, is geared towards producing weapons, whereas Iran insists it is purely for civilian purposes. Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff plans to attend the talks in Oman. Witkoff, in an interview, said the Iranians had stated that they do not want a nuclear weapon and the United States will take them at their word on this point. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said on Saturday that if the United States' goal is to deprive Iran of its nuclear rights, Tehran will never back down over those rights. Araghchi was speaking in Doha as he planned visit to Qatar and Saudi Arabia on Saturday was in line with continuous consultations with neighboring countries to address their concerns and mutual interest about the nuclear issue. Iran has repeatedly said its right to enrich uranium is non-negotiable and has ruled out a zero enrichment demand by some US officials. Now, Iran's Ayatollah in Tehran on Saturday urged Muslim nations not to forget about the plight of Palestinians in Gaza, which is facing possible famine after Israel imposed a month-long blockade on aid. Blaming the United States and Britain for the worsening the crisis in Gaza, where Israel vowed to expand its military campaign against Hamas and broke a truce in March, Khamenei urged the whole world to stand against Israel. The US is backing a mechanism for getting aid into Gaza, which would be handled by private companies, whilst US President Donald Trump is planning to visit the Middle East next week. Now, US President Donald Trump is heading to Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE on Monday. His first major foreign trip of his second term focused on billion-dollar deals in defense, AI and energy. 8 years after his glowing orb moment in Riyadh, this historic return is rich in symbolism but fraught with unresolved crisis. From Gaza's conflict and Iran's nuclear ambitions to Yemen's unrest, Trump faces a region in turmoil. In Riyadh, Trump will meet the leaders of the 6 Gulf Cooperation Council states, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait and Oman. But one place that is not on the itinerary is Israel, the United States' closest ally in the region. Now, South Korea's conservatives made another about-face on Saturday and reinstated their nominee Kim Moonsu. Divided People Power Party earlier dropped him and then reinstated as they struggled for unity to challenge the Liberal frontrunner in the snap June 3rd presidential vote. The decision, which was made after polling party members got confused over whether to replace him with former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo. Now, PPP has promised to seek unity and build a Big Tent coalition to take on Liberal Democratic Party's candidate Lee Jae-myung when campaigning officially begins on Monday. Lee has been a clear frontrunner to replace Conservative former President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was removed from office in April for violating his duties when he declared a short-lived martial law in December. Now, more than 3,000 Bolivians gathered in La Paz to play Andean music known as tarqueda in an attempt to break a world record. Tarquedas are traditional Bolivian musical gatherings where people play an Andean flute called the tarca. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.